Welcome back everybody. In today's video I'm going to be reacting to Andrew Tate, the most popular person on the internet right now in the whole world, talking about ayahuasca. And just for the record, since you probably know Andrew Tate, you might want to know my opinion on him. Basically, I agree with many things he says, but I don't agree with everything. So let's get into this video now.
While we're on the subject of drugs, people also ask me about that ayahuasca shit. What about ayahuasca and you can go down to South America?
Just to say as well, if you don't know, I've actually taken ayahuasca, so my opinion will really come from experience.
And see the spirit world. There is no spirit world, one.
Okay, to say there is no spirit world, it depends on the perspective you're coming from. Now, in terms of spirit in a sense of a non-physical plane, of course that's true, because guess what? This is a non-physical plane. This is not a physical plane. This is illusory. There's nothing actually physical about this. Like I've said many times, the so-called senses themselves are illusory. You can't touch the senses. You can't see the senses. You cannot manipulate the actual senses. Meaning you have a sense perception isolated, so-called from the body, and you can look at it, observe it, test it. No. What we call senses are aspects of experiencing. For example, you can't smell hearing. So the senses as well are also a concept. So what you call the physical world is already non-physical anyway. So we could call this a spirit world because the grounding of this whole experience is non-physical consciousness. So everything fundamentally has a non-physical source. And that non-physical source is pure consciousness. So to use a word, you could say this is a spirit world. You could say the dream world is a spirit world. Because again, that's also non-physical. There's nothing matter about this reality. But of course, scientists want to push that perspective that, yeah, everything is matter. But no, that's fundamentally not true. And you can come to see that with deep looking, deep introspection and deep questioning.
Two, I don't want to go to South America. I've been all around the world. I've been to South America for work. It's a shithole.
That's his opinion.
And people are like, oh yeah, but you know, it's not a shithole because of the real cultural experiences. It's a shithole. I don't want to go. And this
Shout out my South Americans.
ayahuasca crap, what it really is people trying to find meaning in nothing because they cannot find meaning in something.
Trying to find meaning in nothing because they cannot find meaning in something. Again, that's simply not true. People who are taking ayahuasca are doing it for one of two reasons. One, primarily, is to heal. Not about finding meaning, it's just to actually heal from trauma. The other one, which is the reason that I took it, is to try and expand the mind, loosen up the mind, to understand more of what reality truly is. Because these plant medicines are just that, plants. They're just aspects of nature, as we are aspects of nature. We're all just nature. So what these plants do is they simply unlock a particular side to ourselves that releases the mind's grip on this 3D world to perceive a deeper perspective of what's really here right now. And again, I'm saying that from experience. When I took it, I was seeing colors that I can't even describe to you right now. I was seeing the definition of actual my perception, my visual perception in the mind's eye was clearer and more realer, to use a word, than this so-called reality. It's like, what? It felt more real than this. So, and it's not like the ayahuasca created it. It just unlocked something within you. There are different levels to awareness, different levels to awareness of this reality, of reality itself, different levels to understanding where you are and who you are and what is self. And some of these plants, if used in the right way, can simply unlock a perception in you that you could not see if you were just eating donuts and drinking beer and smoking cigars all day.
If I need to test myself and learn about myself, I can enter the cage and fight a man, and I can learn everything it takes. I can learn everything I need to know about perseverance and grit and what I'm really made of and my spirituality, I can understand myself.
To an extent, that's the issue. You can do those things, but you can only understand yourself to an extent. You can definitely learn about grit and how you handle pressure and things like that in the physical realm by doing martial arts, for sure. Nobody's going to disagree with that. But in terms of understanding yourself, only to an extent, only to a very limited point, because the body is a limited aspect of what we truly are. It's a limited aspect of what we truly are. Be the body and not have a mind. Be the body and remove your mind. You don't exist. So you are more the mind than a body, you meaning everybody. And the mind is non-physical. The mind is a bubble within consciousness. So you're understanding a bit about the physical experience, yes. Learn more about the physical body, yes. But self? No, self goes far deeper. You will never know about your true self if you believe that you are solely the body. If you believe that's who you are, mostly. You are somewhat, but mostly you are the non-physical perceiver of the experience that the body cannot even see. That we cannot even see within the body, yet we know it's us, we know it's consciousness. This whole experience is taking place in front of, so to speak, that background of pure consciousness. This is the foreground. Your body is also within the foreground of experience. If you are in the ring fighting, you are experiencing your body. You are experiencing the other person's body. You are experiencing the ring. You are also experiencing the fact that the moment is taking place. You are also aware of the moment taking place. That awareness of the moment includes the other person, the ring, and your body. Can you find that awareness in the ring? Is the awareness in the ring? Is consciousness in the ring? Is it in the brain? No one's found it. See, this consciousness that you truly are is aware of the whole moment that includes the physicality, so-called physicality. Your true self is vaster than the material body. And ayahuasca can help people understand this.
You're too pussy to do that, aren't you?
What a way to come back into the video.
So you'd rather go down to fucking Puerto Rico, drink some brown liquid, throw up all over yourself.
I must say though, ayahuasca does taste disgusting. And you will likely throw up.
And then lie to me about how you saw spirits.
It's supposed to be one of those transformative experiences. People say that you change.
Him saying lie to me about how you saw spirits. I mean, I'm sure he's just saying that in jest. He's a smart guy. I don't think he's going to genuinely just think people are just lying to him. I know he believes in God as well. So he does actually believe in a spirit world to a certain extent. Because heaven would be a spirit world.
Changes their life. Oh my
God. Since you wouldn't be there with your physical body here on earth.
That's how you find meaning in life. I find meaning in life through tests. I test myself right here in the real world.
The thing is, when you say you test yourself right here in the real world, the mind is what you are perceiving as the real world. No mind, no world. Simple as that. So all you are doing when you're taking ayahuasca, my friend, is seeing more of the world. So right now, you are seeing the so-called dense plane, physical plane, material plane, so-called. But you're perceiving this world with the mind. When you unlock and allow your mind to expand, you see more of the world. So you are still seeing this world, but you also see more. You are heightened in your perception. There are many experiences I could talk about. I probably have before. Mystical experiences that happen to people all the time, whether on or off psychedelics. But yes, when you say the world, this is not just the world. That's the whole point. This is what the so-called senses are suggesting is the world, or your regular mind, better to say. But again, you are perceiving this world with the mind. When you take ayahuasca or any other psychedelic, you are still perceiving via the mind. You're just perceiving more. It's not like you forget that you have a body. It's not that you can't open your eyes if your eyes are closed and go to the toilet. You are just understanding that there are different levels of perceiving reality. So there's a gross level, which is what we interact with every day. And then there's a more subtle level. To get to the subtle levels, we need to do something to release the grip our mind has on the regular mundane dualistic experience. And when we do that, and we do that every time we sleep as well, by the way, we do that every time we sleep. That's why dreams are so can be so epic. So one way to do that is meditation. One way to do that is to literally fall in love with the world, with the universe, with God, with source, whatever you want to call it, known as Bhakti Yoga. Another way is through intellect, just really trying to work it out and see that, yeah, it's true. Then power, it can happen like what happened to me. But another way is just to take a plant medicine. Will it happen for everybody? No, because you're still going to have these biases that might block you from opening your mind. Biases that say, nah, this is not going to work. It's not going to work for me. It's all BS. Or you might be really tense. Because I saw somebody who also took it in the same room as me, and it did nothing for her. She couldn't detach from this level of perceiving. So, yes, I said what I said. You are still seeing the world, but you're just seeing the subtler version of the world that you cannot perceive with the so-called regular senses and regular mindset.
Andrew become a world champion. Andrew become a millionaire. I test myself and I...
And that's amazing. Becoming a world champion, becoming a millionaire, of course, kudos. That's amazing. And that's a part of life. The most important understanding I suggest for somebody to have when it comes to life is the whole meaning is just experiencing itself. So experience your body in the ring. Yes. Experience yourself playing tennis, dancing, eating good food, eating bad food, falling in love, falling out of love, break dancing or breaking to be more real, listening to music, sitting on a couch talking about ayahuasca, reacting to somebody talking about ayahuasca. Experiencing in and of itself is the whole reason that we are even here. Because the opposite of experiencing is what? No experiencing. Nobody can talk within the no experience reality, because we have to be experiencing to talk about the non-experience reality. Existence in and of itself is the meaning within itself. Then from there, that's where we start to use our mind to choose what to do. I'll be a kickboxer. I'll talk about spirituality. I'll be a teacher. I'll be a lawyer. I'll be vegan. I'll stop being vegan. I'll be vegan again. Like so many people do. Not me though. Okay, so yeah, that's great. That's great.
Succeed. This is how I learn. You ain't got the balls to do that. So you go down to Honduras, some shithole, and you drink some poison and you throw up and go, I was hallucinating and I saw the spirit world and I learned so much about myself, and I learned that when I throw up on myself, really inside of my feelings. Please.
Now, let me just say, because there's a lot of hate on this man right now. Obviously, that was a joke, the last bit. Like, come on, people. Like, he's just joking, right? He's not being dead serious. You can look at his other videos, and he's a smart guy. He knows what he's talking about. And this is an old video, to be honest. This is way before he was big. This is years ago, or at least a year ago. So, yeah. So don't take that too serious. Take it with a pinch of salt. But still, though, his views on ayahuasca, I'm assuming he actually does mean. And yeah, so he's just wrong basically about that. The reason people take it and what the world is, what self is. And for example, many fighters, when they become ex-fighters, they then find it hard to exist within this world because it's hard for them to match the heights, the adrenaline that they had walking into that ring, fighting, winning or losing. They find it hard to match that adrenaline, that experience in the so-called real world or normal world or society, because they think that's who they are. They identify as a fighter, or they are addicted to that feeling that they had, and you can't replicate it as a postman, as a postwoman, as a teacher, as a pilot even, I would assume. So a lot of them become depressed. So what ayahuasca can do is show you that actually your real home is not here on this physical plane, this so-called physical plane. Your real home is no thing. You are that formlessness that has no anxiety, has no pressure to do, to act. It just is. It's so whole that it doesn't need to do anything because it's whole. That's what you truly are. And ayahuasca can help you see that's where you truly reside, or what you reside as, what you exist as, that wholeness, not just this apparent fragmented aspect of yourself that you call the body, that you call I. Ayahuasca can bring you home, just as self-inquiry can, which is what I recommend more. Let me just say that as well. Don't think I'm promoting ayahuasca right now as the holy grail, because having done that and also had my actual awakening, what I call the true awakening, because it blew ayahuasca out the water and I've never been the same again. It just really was the true awakening of oneness. That is what one should really seek in terms of understanding self. But anyway, ayahuasca can help you, baby steps, at least understand that there's more to what we call the world and more to what you call yourself. Right? So again, I'll say that again. It's very important. Fighters might accomplish things, but they get lost when they stop fighting, and they might start coaching to try and be around it all the time, or they will just genuinely be lost because they can't match that same experience. But that trying to match the same experiences because they are identifying with the body so strongly that they think that's what they have to do to actually be content. But the most content you will be is when you know you are no thing, ironically. Such as when you are sleeping. You want to drop the body when you are sleeping. Why is that? You want to drop your body and mind. Why is that? Why do we all want to do that? Because it's baggage. And because deep down we know it's not what we truly are. So we want to go home to that no thingness experience that we call sleep or deep sleep. I'm not talking about dreams. That's still the active mind. I'm just talking about that no thingness that you can't even talk about. Yet it did happen. You know it happened. Because when you wake up, you know that you didn't dream the whole night. You know there's a period when there was no thingness, so to speak, happening. But that no thingness wasn't really no thing. It was you. Just with the mind, we can call it no thing. Because there's no parts to it. It's just so whole. I can go on and on and on and on. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, everybody. And let me know if you like this format that I'm doing now, which is reacting to popular videos. Have a wonderful day or evening, my fellow expressions of consciousness. Peace.